Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig into the numbers so you don't have to. Today we're decoding Corpus's Me Nullitus 10K, and boy is it a treasure hunt. We're talking about digging deep, both literally and figuratively. You might even say the whole exercise is a little mineral. Coeur Mining, a precious metals producer with mines in the US, Canada, and Mexico, just dropped their annual report. Let's see if their year was as shiny as the gold they dig up. We'll cut through the jargon and get to what really matters: the profits, the problems, and where the company might be headed. The report covers the year ending December 31st, 2024. This Form 10K is like a yearly health checkup, so let's peek at the patient's vitals. Coeur's main goal is to make good money that lasts, focusing on getting returns from their mines and looking for new opportunities. Think of it as planting seeds that will keep growing, not just a one-time harvest. The company uses different tricks, like special contracts, to try and keep the price of gold and silver steady. They do this to avoid big money swings due to changing market conditions. Coeur sells their gold and silver to different companies, and they think losing one of those companies wouldn't hurt them too much. It's like having multiple stores to sell your products, so if one closes, you still have others. The company expects to spend between $12.3 million and $13.3 million in 2025 to follow environmental rules. It's part of their strategy to be good stewards of the planet. Coeur wants to be a good employer by hiring people from different backgrounds. Their boss, Mitchell Krebs, even signed a pledge to show he's serious about it. Coeur is trying to reduce how much greenhouse gas they put out into the world. They actually met their goal of cutting back by 35% by the end of 2024. Keep in mind these reports have forward-looking statements, and Coeur doesn't promise to correct forward-looking statements, so don't treat them as gospel. Gold hit a high of $2,778 per ounce in late October 2024. Silver reached $34.51 around the same time. But prices can change quickly, so it's important to remember these numbers are just snapshots. The price of these metals can be like a roller coaster. Yeah, it might go up and down because people are guessing or betting, not because anything real has changed. This can also cause stock prices to fluctuate. When Coeur talks about how much gold and silver they have, these are estimates based on science and guessing about the future. These estimations may not come true. If anything goes wrong with the companies that process Coeur's metals, like a bankruptcy or shipping problems, it can really hurt their ability to make money. Mining is dangerous and bad things can happen. It's important to be careful and have insurance, but accidents might not be fully covered. Coeur's future depends on finding new mines or expanding existing ones, like what they're doing at Rochester. When Coeur buys another company, it can be tricky to combine everything. It takes time and effort, and things might not work out as planned. Weather permits and problems with local communities also pose threats to Las Chispas mine. If these factors get serious, it could make mining there too expensive. Searching for minerals is risky and expensive. Even if they find something, it might not be enough to make a profit. Global events like wars can mess up supply chains and make things cost more. This can hurt Coeur's ability to get what they need. If metals get too cheap, Coeur might have to stop mining at some places or write down the value of its assets. That would make their financial situation look worse. Coeur does business in other countries, and sometimes things aren't fair. They could face legal problems, higher taxes, or even have their property taken away. In some areas, especially in Mexico, crime and violence could make it harder for Coeur to operate. It might be dangerous for their workers and costly to protect things. The Coeur sells metals in dollars, but they spend money in local currencies. If those currencies change value, it can affect their profits. If the people living near Coeur's mines don't like what they're doing, they might cause trouble. This could lead to lawsuits or protests. Things like landslides or dam failures can be a big problem. They can hurt people, damage the environment, and cost a lot of money to fix. Coeur uses special contracts to protect against price swings, but these contracts can also be risky. They might lose out on money if prices go up, and they could have problems if the other company doesn't hold up their end of the bargain. Coeur depends on computers, and if those systems get hacked or broken, it could stop them from working properly and cost money. Coeur is trying to be responsible about the environment and how they treat people, which is something some investors like, but these standards are always changing. If there's a pandemic or something similar and workers can't come to the mines, it could really slow things down or even shut them down temporarily. If workers go on strike, it can cost Coeur a lot of money and hurt their business. Keeping the peace among employees is vital. Access to water is important for mining, and the mines are often in dry areas. If they can't get enough water, it could cause problems. Coeur might have tax benefits from past losses, but they might not be able to use them all in the future. This depends on how well they do, and if tax laws change. If Coeur's credit rating goes down, it will cost more to borrow money. This could make things tougher for them. Mining is heavily regulated and the rules are always changing. Following those rules costs money, and not following them results in fines and shutdowns. Mexico is changing its mining, water, and environmental laws. This could make it harder to get permits and operate in Mexico. Coeur can get into legal fights even if they think they're right. These fights can cost a lot of money and distract them from running the business. Sometimes people argue about who owns the land where Coeur wants to mine. If they lose those arguments, it could stop them from building or running a mine. Taxes depend on where Coeur makes money. If they make more money in one place than another, it can change their overall tax rate. When Coeur buys another company like Silvercrest, they have to issue more stock, which could lower the stock price. Adding the Las Chispas mine through the Silvercrest deal makes sense, but faces additional risk factors that may make operating more difficult. Buying another company costs money for things like lawyers and advisors. Coeur might end up paying more than they expected. If Coeur can't smoothly combine with Silvercrest, they might not get the benefits they were hoping for. Silvercrest has been reporting their numbers under different rules than Coeur, and that could lead to some surprises during the reconciliation. The scroll general Cispain Desportivo Dev Coeur Mining wants to be a growing, well-balanced company, but it faces a lot of challenges: metals prices swinging, potential mining accidents, political instability, and trouble integrating its recent purchase of Silvercrest. Even if the company makes money, it's up to its management to protect shareholder value. Coeur has been profitable this year, but they operate in many countries and a lot of things can impact effective tax rate, which makes this a tricky situation. It's good that they have a nice outlook for the company. Coeur is expecting a lot of silver and gold in 2025, but the cost guidance is a bit up in Palmarejo, Kensington, and Wharf, so that has to be considered. Overall, Coeur Mining seems to be heading in a better direction, but it's not without risks like commodity swings and making new acquisitions mesh well. Plus, Mexico's volatile legal and political landscapes always add uncertainty. Based on revenue increase, the stock price between $4 and $6 seem fair, but that is only if the company can get the operating cost as they projected. Based on the projected production output, a price range of $5 to $6.50 looks appropriate, with a slight lean towards bullishness considering the potential upside if the company executes well on its targets for the year, like closing costs and a good price of metals. Thanks for decoding with me today. If you liked this and you learned something today, please subscribe, like, and comment.